What's up, everybody? I'm back. Another discussion type video. Today, I want to answer the question: is Dale Jr. a elite driver? Is he worthy of being in the Hall of Fame? This is a worthy question because he just got inducted into the Hall of Fame last night, class of 2022, and there's a lot of controversy over his eliteness in NASCAR. Is he very overrated because of his name? That kind of stuff, or is he actually a good driver? And it's come into question once again. And I thought, him being my favorite driver of all time, I think I would want to talk about it. I'm trying not to speak bias here, even though there is going to be a little bit of bias because I do think he was a good driver. He had his weak points, but is it enough to be a Hall of Famer? Let's find out. So his stats were 26 victories over the course of 18 seasons in NASCAR. He ran full-time 17 seasons with 2016. But he ran 2016 partial season, 2012 partial season, so it's only 16 full seasons. And then 1999, there was also a partial season that he ran. With 26 victories, including 2 Daytona 500s, and plenty of other restricted plate wins. Had 6 wins at Talladega. He had Bud Shootout a couple of times. He won dual races, but plenty. Off the super speedways, he was pretty good as well. He got a grandfather clock of Martinsville. He won Bristol, the night race, a couple of times, or just one time. He won Texas a couple of times. He won a lot of different tracks. But he certainly wasn't a consistently elite driver, as I would consider it. In the beginning of his career, 2000 was pretty good, but 2000 he lost Rookie of the Year to Matt Kenseth. 2001, he got a top 10 points finish and 3 victories in the second half of the season. 2002 was kind of a down year because he was injured. 2003, 2004 were elite. He was a championship contender both seasons. Just couldn't get the job done. 2005 was a very down year because of a pit crew change that I still don't know why that happened at all. 2006 was back up, was back up for him, even though he only won one race. 2007 was horrible because Teresa rigged all of his engines to blow up, so he never finished a damn race, and when he did, he wrecked at the end anyways. 2008 was better in the first half, made the chase. 2009 was horrible. 2010 was 2011 2012 up there again. 2013, 2014, 2015, that was a good stretch for him. Being a championship contender, all of those seasons. 2016 he got injured, and then 2017 he retired, and he didn't win it at all either that year, which kind of sucked. His on-track stats and his on-track numbers don't really, I don't think, qualify him for a Hall of Famer. 2 Daytona 500 is impressive. He won NASCAR Most Popular Driver every year that he was racing, as well, starting in 2002, I think it was. So that's impressive as well. But is it really? A lot of people are questioning that. And then as well as he had some good years. 26 wins is nothing to shy at in the Cup Series, top level. I think a lot of drivers would kill for that are currently racing in NASCAR right now. Especially some that have been considered elite and not won any. Danica Patrick. But, he had a lot of bad seasons, and especially in his later years. I mean, he joins Hendrick Motorsports and contended, like, 2014, 2015, I would consider pretty elite. 2012 as well, I guess, but 2008, first half especially. So, what did he do? Like, what did he, a lot of people are wondering that. A lot of people think he's done good. He gets the credit that he gets because of his name. He has the name Earnhardt on his side of him. And he obviously had some big shoes to fill with filling his dad's seat in Dale Sr., especially after his death in 2001. A lot of people do think Junior would have been a lot more elite, especially in those prime years in 03 and 04. Possibly gotten a championship or two had Dale Sr. lived, and had Dale Sr. carried on DEI, and Junior could have possibly won 2, 3, even 4 championships, as well as plenty more Daytona 500s and been a little bit more elite. Junior also had a career, besides that, he also had a career hindered by injury. He had 3 separate concussions in 2000. He had 3 separate concussions in 2002, 2012, and 2016. And I think that does say something. Concussions are nothing to shy about. They are big name injuries. And he had to sit out for the last 2. He did sit out for the first one. He raced the entire season with it. In 2012, he had to sit out, and he fell to the bottom of the chase standings. And after that, in 2016, he didn't even make the chase at all. Chase for the cup, the playoffs, whatever you want to call it. Because he missed the second half of the season all because of injury. I think, especially as he got older, that put on a little bit more of a thing to him. He also had an injury in 2004 where he had to miss a race, and a lot of people think he could have possibly brought home the championship had that injury had not happened, because he missed a whole race of points because of that. So there's a lot of other outside factors that caused his performance to decline, other than his just prime abilities as tenfold. So does that excuse him? Does that make him a Hall of Famer? I don't think that excuses it. However, I think that is a good reason to point into. You have 3 concussions in your career, plus another injury due to a burning injury. You got to give a little leeway at that point, right? I mean, a lot of other drivers have had similar injuries and stuff like that, and we've given them credit and stuff like that. But I think he's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame not because of his name, I think he's getting inducted to the Hall of Fame because it was. You got to give a little bit you got to say he's going to get inducted a little bit because of his name, okay? A little bit. But I think why he's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I think this is a trend from what I've seen from all the inductees, is that they're all owners. A lot of them own a team. A lot of them run a team. Some of them still race. Some of them have good racing accomplishments, but they've also owned a team. And Junior's on that. He started Junior Motorsports in the Xfinity Series, which has been, for the last 15, 16 years even, maybe even longer than that, has been one of the top Xfinity racing teams out there. It's one of the larger teams, if not the largest team. And so I think they took that into consideration as well and said, okay, this is pretty awesome stuff. How about this seems like credibility to try and get him into the Hall of Fame. Now, it is also possible that they were looking for excuses to put him in the Hall of Fame because of his name, because of his popularity. But if you want to take away that, which is kind of bullshit if you do take that away, if you want to take that away and want to put just his on-track accomplishments, I mean, they put Mark Martin in the Hall of Fame, and he never won a 500 or a championship, and Junior won 2 500s. So how can you put Mark Martin in the Hall of Fame and not Earnhardt Jr.? I mean, that seems like that doesn't seem right. And other drivers had bad years. When Jimmy Johnson had bad years, even Tony Stewart had bad years, and they're going to be in the Hall of Fame, or already are in the Hall of Fame. So it's not exclusive to Junior. Okay, I think a lot of people love to hate Dale Jr. just because they think he's overrated because of his name, because their driver didn't win most popular driver. And that's reasonable. I mean, but when you're the son of a NASCAR legend, arguably the greatest driver of all time, and he's killed in a tragic accident, and you go out and win the next race at Daytona after he died, I mean, that you're going to get loved after that. And I think there's a lot to be said there. Now, this doesn't make him Hall of Fame worthy. I'm just explaining why why he's been so popular. It is because of his name. The Earnhardt name has been one of the most popular names in NASCAR for almost 40 years at this point. Maybe even like 40, 50 years at this point. And it's going to stay that way. Along with the Elliott name, it's going to be the most popular name. There's nothing that you can really do about that because of circumstances, because of their history, because of their eliteness, stuff like that. So conclusion, yes, Dale Earnhardt Jr. was an elite driver. 26 wins, again, is nothing to shy about, including 2 Daytona 500s. I do think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. If they're going to put Eli Manning as a person in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Dale Jr. definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. You're going to put Mark Martin in the Hall of Fame, which I do think he does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. then you got to put Junior in the Hall of Fame because Junior did something Mark Martin couldn't. So you got to look at that bar. You got to look at that rise. But why the hell is Eli Manning going to be a question for the Hall of Fame? Like, what the hell?